you two are in charge. Your name, ma'am? Divya and Satya. Where there is Divya, there is always a Satya. So with your guarantee, I'm taking this responsibility that I will start. Happy morning.
Happy morning, sir.
Okay. The energy seems to be down. Now, I really understand because in 1 hour's time, you want Madhya Pradesh to be full. Okay. And now the challenge is when Madhya Pradesh is saying, I want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat. Here I come from Deccan Herald and I am taking that time between you having your lunch and before that I am trying to give you a PD class. It is going to be a challenge for me also. The very purpose of this class, leadership skill, is as a college we have an objective. What is that objective? Every student who is enrolled in this college needs to hit that bullseye, a good job. The very purpose of we training you on Bachelor of Commerce is the moment you complete this, you should land in a job. One. Or after you complete this course, you should become an entrepreneur. You should start your own business. You should start your own enterprise where you will be hiring people and a startup would be started by you and it will start happening. So when we have these two objectives, then why do we need these leadership skills? Between the job and between you becoming an entrepreneur, there is something called as interview. What is that they look for a candidate in an interview? They look for leadership skills. Do you have that leadership skills in you? Then you will be recruited. If you don't have that leadership skills, you will not be recruited. Academic performance, that you are a Bachelor of Commerce student, there is no doubt. We know that you are a commerce student, you have studied these number of subjects and all of us would have studied the same. Actually speaking, we are studying in an academic curriculum where we follow what is called as herd mentality. We are like a sheep herds, a group of sheeps. All of us have the same knowledge. All of us are actually influenced by the same lecturers and all of us are influenced by the same surroundings and all of us know that this week one of the person from Kannada Big Boss is going to be eliminated and few of you have already decided who is going to be eliminated. So when we look at where are we standing, all of us look alike. But what if a campus drive happens in your college? Because initial days I used to work for Infosystems and also Accenture, their sister concern. We used to go to college and we used to do what is called as a campus drive. What is a campus drive? Companies get into the college campus and they want to select the creamiest layer of students for their jobs, means for their requirement. But how will we select the creamiest layer of jobs? How will we select the creamiest layer of students? We will definitely not look at your academic performance because we will say those who have scored above this can attend this interview. So we already know all of you have actually satisfied that requirement and then you have come to the job. And whenever interview happens, let me tell you, we will not be told what is your academic performance and then they will ask us to conduct the interview. Why they do that? So that I will not get influenced with your academic performance. If I am looking at a resume and I know this guy has scored 80% or 95% or he has scored 60%, I would be biasing myself in the way I am trying to interview you. So my selection may not be 100% genuine because I am emotionally attached to the performance of your academic and that may not actually reflect your other skill sets. That is what today's class is all about. Yes, leadership skills. What is the other name given? Soft skills also. Hard skills is the BCom skills what you have got. Soft skills is your communication skills, your emotional skills, your interview handling skills, your group discussion skills, your public speaking skills, your seminar presentation skills, your emotional skills, empathetical skills, problem handling skills. Like that, if I go on, there would be endless skill sets that we are looking in each and every one of you. Always remember, everybody will have to work in a team. It's not a one-man army. I cannot recruit you and assign you a job and say you are going to do everything. That kind of a job requirement is never there. Even when you start your own business, that kind of a requirement will not come. So what is that they are looking for? They are looking for what is called as entrepreneurship skills, what is called as soft skills, what is called as leadership skills. But because we are talking about this topic called as leadership skills, among those group whom I am going to interview, what I will be looking at, what is the person's ability to communicate? Is he good enough in expressing his ideas, in sharing his ideas to a group and make them understand what he means? This skill set is very, very important. And you will never develop this skill sets by regularly just being a part of an academic program. Definitely not. You will have to get into an activity like if you have heard about there is a public speaking activity which happens in every college. You should also have a public speaking forum like that. You should take help of one of your lecturers who would also accompany you. Weekly once you will have to give them a topic. Everybody should come and you will have to start expressing those topics. This way, your ability to communicate will start improving, and over a period of one academic year, your performance would have gone high. And that performance and that confidence that you have gained by consistently speaking to a group of people will definitely help you in an interview to actually outsmart. Now, let us take up who is a leader. Whenever we allow to decide, if there is a class of 40-50 students, I want to decide one person as a leader and give him responsibility. Who will I decide is capable of becoming a leader to that group? Point number one, I will see if that particular student is regularly coming, not being absent and always before time. Yes, that is a quality what I can look for. If you have another candidate who keeps on being absent, who keeps on taking leave, do you think we will consider them as a leader? Definitely not. So like that, to become a leader, there is a list of things that you should have. One, you should definitely have the technical skill sets. Two, and third, can he comfortably communicate with every one of them and actually have a cordial relationship with everyone? Then we will consider him as a leader. So these kind of qualities is required, and this is what we look in a leader. Just to give you a definition, what is leadership? A leadership is an ability to influence self. First you will have to influence yourself, because if you are not confident, how will you handle a group of people where you will have to pour in the confidence? It's going to be highly impossible. As a leader, self-confidence plays a very important role, because if I am taking this as an example, as a coach, he has to have that confidence that this team can get me a medal, and that confidence, if the coach doesn't have, definitely it will not pour down to the members. So as a leader, your self-confidence has to be very high, and only when you're confident and you have a clear vision that I'm seeing the medal, the gold medal coming to this hockey team, if that vision is not seen by you, you can definitely not make your team see the same medal. So a leadership skills is there where you should have vision. You should be able to see things with clarity. So we say, what is the definition? A leadership is an ability to influence self. One is, I'll have to influence myself and make sure that I am capable of this. And when opportunity comes, you will have to exhibit this. Let me share a beautiful story. The first 2020 World Cup, the entire selection process is a leadership lesson to every one of us. Always remember, opportunities knock your door, and when opportunities knock, if you are not ready to actually accept it, it will not wait for you. The same opportunity will go to the second person. Do not expect, no, one more coincidence will happen and one more such opportunity will come in your life. Definitely not. Nothing in life happens out of coincidence. Everything is incidental. Today you had to attend this class from Deccan Hall. It was an incidental thing and it was written in your destiny. Now how well you are going to use this opportunity to change few of your skill sets and become what you want to become is the choice in your hand. As a college students, we very beautifully say our life has to be led like A, B, C, D. All of you repeat. Our life should be led like A, B, C, D. A is the beginning. We will talk about B, C and D. all of our beginning is equal. All of our beginning is equal. We are born equals. If you have a doubt, call Tendulkar's mother and say, ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ತೆಂಡೂಲ್ಕರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಮಮ್ಮಿನ ಅಮ್ಮ ತೆಂಡೂಲ್ಕರ್ ಪಾಪು ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಆಚೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸಮೇತನೇ ಬಂದಮ್ಮ ನೋ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ us are born equals. And you ask somebody, Mother Teresa's mother soul is traveling here and there, and we stop her. Are you a Mother Teresa soul? Yes, yes. Amma, when Mother Teresa was born, she came with that white seregu, and today she has our hospitals all over the world. Is that so? No. The greatest gift God has given each and every one of us is all of us are born equal. What is the return gift you will give? The return gift that you are going to give is God should feel proud that He gave you a life of human, and that should be cherished. All of you should know you are already a leader to be born as human. I am again repeating, all of you should know to be born as a human, you are already a leader, you are already a chosen one. God could have given you any kind of living. He could have made you an animal, He could have made you a bird, He could have made you an insect, He could have made you a worm, but He has chosen you to become a human. That means you are already among so many millions and billions of them. You are that selected one who is chosen to become a human. And that birth has come to you. But when you die, it has to be a moment where God should cherish and say, I think the birth given to this lady as human, I am satisfied. I think the birth given to this boy, I am satisfied. That is the return gift that you will have to give. All of us are born equals, and we are not going to die equal. So between this birth and whenever we talk about death, B, C, D. B is for birth, C is, we'll talk about this, D is death. Birth is fixed, death is fixed. Anybody has doubt that you may not actually die? No, everybody knows we are definitely going to die. We are born, we are going to die. But if a chaiwala has to reach and become what is called as a prime minister, from a chaiwala to prime minister, from a tribal woman to the president, I am talking about Draupadi Murmu, and from a fisherman's son to becoming a scientist or the greatest president India has seen, or from a paper boy to becoming Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest president United States of America has seen, birth and death is fixed for them also. Birth happened, death happened, but they could become what they became because of the right choices what they made. C stands for choices. Repeat after me. C stands for choices. Right now you have a choice. Next 15 minutes, next 45 minutes, next 1 hour, if I need to give an additional 15 minutes, I am ready to give, because I know this choice of mine, what I take right now, will give me a beautiful consequences. Always remember, choice is something that you execute. And that choice will decide what destination you will reach, what goals you will reach. Yes, I am a leader. I am influencing myself. I am also trying to influence others. Am I influencing them on the positive note? Am I influencing them on the negative note? You also know among your own friend circle, hey, I should not become so friendly with this girl. Why? She is always gossiping and most of my time is wasted. The choice is yours. Whether you want her to be one among your friend circle or you don't want her to be one among your friend circle, the choice is yours. Once the choice is made, the destination will be dependent on this choice. So only we very beautifully say, dost kahan hai? All of you have heard this word? Dost kahan hai? You may not get an answer for this, but this I know everybody knows. Dushman kahan hai? We say bagal mein hai. We will rephrase it. Dushman bagal mein nahi hai. Dushman andar hai. If you are not successful, it was not the dushman who was sitting bagal mein, it was you who was a dushman because you did not make the right choices. Every day you fix up an alarm and the alarm rings. And a person who gets up at the first ring He had made a choice, and that choice will define what his destination is going to be. Where is he going to reach? Is he going to become a president? Is he going to become a scientist? Is he going to become the greatest Abraham Lincoln? The choice was yours. The same choice was there even for those who were born with these so-called leaders. They also had a choice. Draupadi Murmu's brothers and sisters still live in the same forest as tribals, a little bit better tribals, that's all. Choice was there. When we talk about Abdul Kalam, all his brothers and sisters were still in the same place and they were still doing the fishing, and right now also few of his so-called relatives are still in only one profession, fishing. But the choice was yours. Don't call dushman kahan hai, main bagal mein hai. Most of us have excuses for this. If my father is this, I would have become something else. Tell Abdul Kalam that. If your father is a fisherman, he doesn't know how to count money, how is that you are thinking that you are going to become somebody great, you are going to become a leader? Highly impossible. Every leader should take this challenge. God plays a very beautiful trick. God plays around with pleasure and pain. All of you repeat. Pleasure and pain. Wherever there is pleasure, you want to do that more and more. Wherever there is pain, you want to do that less and less. A leader is the one who actually takes up pain more because he knows the trick of God. What is the trick of God? All initial pleasures will have permanent pain. And all initial pain will have permanent pleasure. If you want to be a leader, every day you will have to get up. If you want to be a leader, every day you will have to talk to your team. If you want to be a leader, every day you will have to motivate your team. If you want to be a leader, if failure happens, you should take it on your head. Actually, success happens, you will have to deliver it to the team. He is called as a leader. And to become that leader, it is always giving out pleasure, accepting and accepting and accepting pain. If you are ready to take up this pain consistently and you know initial pain will give permanent pleasure and initial pleasure will give permanent pain, knowing this trick, all these people whom I used as an example, they became what they became because they choose what is called as pain. Where there is no pain, there will not be any gain. All of you have dreams. I am not saying no. Most of you are not ready to cross 2.5 lakhs per month salary. Even that was very high. Most of you have already decided if 40 or 20 or 25 or 30 or 40 comes, we are happy. That is not the salary what you will have to aim at. All of you who are sitting here, each and every one of you are eligible for 2 plus 3 plus lakh salary, and it is possible. I've seen the placements happening, it is possible. But have you made up your mind? No. To make up that mind, you have to have that bigger pan. You have a small pan, according to that small pan, you go to a fish shop and you buy the fish based on the pan. No. If you get a large fish, you will have to actually buy a large pan. Choice was yours. Is the fish constant or the pan constant? If you decide the pan is constant, then you are going on the negative zone. Why? You want to sit in a comfort zone. What is that comfort zone? I really do not want to challenge myself. I want to do what is comfortable to me. When you consistently keep on doing comfortable things, that means you are consistently not taking pain. Where is the gain for you? Gain also will be big zero. Yesterday also came to college, today also I will come to college. Did you actually do what is called a SWOT analysis on yourself? You should get into your teacher and say, sir, do a SWOT analysis on myself. I have also done. I need your feedback. Tell me what are my strengths. Tell me, sir, what are my weaknesses. You tell me my strengths, I will make my strengths still more stronger so that my strengths becomes my greatest weapon. You tell me what are my weaknesses. Wherever I can actually change my weaknesses, I'll start changing those weaknesses by, if I can learn some things and I can change my weaknesses, I'll transform those weaknesses into strengths so that I'll be able to actually achieve among those bigger things in life. But most of you are not ready or not daring to do that. That is one of the leadership skills. Identify what are all the pluses and minuses in each and every one of them. She is good in goalie, she is good as a French striker, he is good in this. Depending on the skill set, the position will be given, and that would help him to conquer what he needs to conquer because he has the right kind of skill sets. And that decision, a coach will not come and do it. Right now, you are a coach to yourself. Again, right now, you are the coach to yourself. You should know what are your strengths and weaknesses. Depending on your strengths, can I actually make it still more better? If I have more weaknesses, can I work on my weaknesses so that my weaknesses can be transformed into strengths? But whenever we talk about strengths and weaknesses, few things is impossible to be done. So we say life is not always about what all you don't have. Life is always about what you have and what can you do with whatever you have. Let me take up one example. There was this man from top to bottom. When people looked at him, he was such a darkly visible man, and people looked at him and they told, what color is this? And that man wanted to become an hero. He kept on approaching many people that I wanted to be an hero, I wanted to be an actor, I want to be an actor, give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. He never had 9 packs, he had a very huge head. His body also did not look like those streamlined body. And people looked at him and they ridiculed. But this man told, it is not what I don't have, it is always about what all I have. With what all I have, what can I do? He had one thing, that was his style. That one style was actually appreciated and loved by many of them. So what he did, if I know this, let me work on that, and he kept on working on his style, and there was no looking back. If today at the age of 75, 76, if we are asking who is the highest paid actor in Asia, it is Rajinikanth. He had a lot of difficulties, but for him to become that leader, he worked on that one skill set what he had, and there was no looking back. People looked at Tendulkar. And they always told, you want to be a batsman? Not possible. Have you read the rule book? The rule book very clearly states, a person who is not having an height, he cannot become a batsman. That too, you will never be able to face a ball when you go to a foreign pitch, because all the foreign pitches are bouncer pitches. It crosses much more above you. So forget about becoming a batsman and forget about being a cricketer. Why? His only scope was, I want to be the greatest batsman. They ridiculed him. People ridicule him. If you are taking some responsibility, people will ridicule him. But he told, come what may, I know I want to become a cricketer and I shall become a cricketer. He consistently kept on playing, kept on playing, kept on playing. And a day came when people changed the rule book for him. And they told, it is not important that you will have to be actually tall to become the good batsman. Yes, the wordings will change. The loudest way to tell the world shut up is show results. Rule book will change. And that results, if you need to give, you need to develop these leadership skills. One of the biggest leadership skills is you should not be allergic to this word failure. Repeat after me. I will not be allergic. I will not be allergic to this word failure.
Failure.
Repeat again. I will not be allergic to this word.
I will not be allergic to this word
Failure.
failure.
If you are allergic to that word failure, you will never become a leader. A simple example, because Mahendra Singh Dhoni was initiating that talk. It was the first 2020 World Cup, and India had never experienced 2020 cricket at all. When India had never experienced 2020 cricket, because it was a World Cup, we could not say we will participate from the next World Cup. They had to participate. So what the management decided, let us send a combination of senior and junior players, not expecting anything out of them. Let them simply learn the game, enjoy the game, and then come back. We are not expecting any results. Maybe if they go for semi-finals, we are happy, or even if they qualify for the quarter-finals, we are still happy. Let us pick up a team and send. This will be their first experience. Let them experience and come back. Why? Because India never had played 2020 matches. But today India is very experienced after IPL. That's a different ball game altogether. So the management had to pick up a leader there. How do you identify a leader? You will know like this. Opportunities come and it knocks the door. If you are not ready to pick it up, he is not the loser, you will be the loser. So you will have to stand there strong and say, I am ready to pick up this opportunity. So they put up the senior players in one room and junior players in another room. So first the management comes to the senior most players and they say, we want to send a team which will be a culmination of seniors and juniors. So we just want to see who is going to captain this 2020 first World Cup. None of the seniors agreed to become a captain and most of the seniors told, we don't want to be a part of the squad at all. Why? They were allergic to this term called as failure because they did not know 2020 matches, how on an international pitch it is going to work. Because of their fear of failure, not having experience, not having confidence, they gave up and they told none of them want to be a part of the team also. But few average senior players like Harbhajan Singh and others, they volunteered and they told we will be a part of a team but we don't want to be a captain because we don't have exposure. Now what was the challenge for the management? They had to come to the junior team and there they had to select a captain also and maximum players there. They come to the junior team and they say, we have already decided who is going to be the captain. We have already decided 8 to 9 senior players. But in case if we want to choose a captain from the junior team, who is going to be the captain? A person who can raise his hand even without thinking. That person is called as a leader because when opportunity comes, you should be ready to grab that opportunity. That is one of the basic leadership skills that you should have. And this man raises his hand and he says, Apan captain banega. And that man was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who had very little experience but he was playing good. And he had nothing to lose. He was daring to go out of the comfort zone. All of you are daring to go out of the comfort zone? No. A leader is the one who dares himself and he says, I want to go outside the comfort zone and I want to experience fear. When I experience fear, that means I am trying to do something out of the box. When you have an exam, you experience fear. That fear is required because you are trying to experience something which you have not experienced earlier. The lecturer wants me to anchor this entire program. I want to experience that fear of actually anchoring the program. I know I may do good or bad, but I am ready to volunteer. And that man said, Apan captain Kanega. I will become a captain. They told, Jeet kya hoge? Aise hi captain banoge. He was confident. Apan pura mehnat karega. We will put all the efforts. Definitely Jeet has to be asked. Hey, that is the statement that people look for. A leader is the one who can put the statement and make it look like, yes, if all of us put the efforts, winning is not at all impossible. And these were the words spoken by Dhoni. And there was no looking back. He became the captain. We lost the first match. The media people wrote everything negative and they decided. They also went into an abusive manner where they told where this management selection committee was overdrunk that they choose him as a captain. Why? We lost the first match. Every newspaper wrote negative about it and they told what kind of players have been selected. And then somebody went up to Dhoni and he told, we have lost the match. Do you think you are confident enough to bounce back? Yes, I'm not afraid of failure. I will and all of us will. And after that there was no looking back. We did not even miss one match. All the matches were won until we hit the World Cup. And the first 2020 World Cup comes to Dhoni. When opportunity came, Dhoni was ready to actually accept it. After that happened, all the senior players were thinking, what if I would have also told, yes, the first 2020 World Cup captain would have been me. Train hodmele, ticket togolodu. It doesn't work. Opportunities will never come like that. Once it comes, you should be ready. That's what a leadership is all about. You will have to sit in the slip, stand in the slip, waiting for the ball to come, and you don't know when the ball will come, but in that fraction of second, if you are not ready, you miss the catch. You are considered a bad player. Every opportunity that is given in your college, Every opportunity that is given in the college, if you are not ready to grab it with both the fingers, that means you have not used that opportunity for your benefit. Again, दुश्मन कहाँ है? बगल में नहीं है, अंदर है. Why? You did not accept. It was not nobody else. You did not accept. And 5 years down the line, if you're actually successful, then bagal wala person is not your dost. You are the dost of yourself because you executed the choice. Agar if you are not successful, again I am telling you, dushman bagal mein nahi hai, dushman haan bhi ho, because you did not execute the right kind of choices. And as a team lead, he had to build up this entire team so that they trust with each other and together everybody achieves more. You also have this challenge. You are being given a team, whether you liked or disliked. When you got into the first year BCom, a team is created for you and given to you, and you are put as an entity there. Your presence in the team should be filled with so much of positive energy, so much of fragrance, and your absence should create so much of opaqueness. Then you will be considered as a leader. If the reverse happens, then you are a zero. You are not at all a leader. So can you develop these leadership skills that is required? And once opportunity is knocked, you should be ready to take up. So here also, executing an amazing leadership skills, knowing there was a danger. If we lost the match, this man dares enough to actually say, we shall win and we shall win, come what may. That kind of a choice you guys also will have to make. So leadership building oneself and others positively. And as a father, it was not easy for him to bring up in these two minds where it was a male-dominated sport. Wrestling was a male-dominated sport. In that wrestling, to think out of the box and trying to actually influence or build confidence in his own daughters to pick up this, what is the kind of leadership skills he had to show? Amazing, you cannot imagine. Day in, day out, every second, his only thought process was, how will these two win medals for India? And they won. And again, leadership skills is not something which is actually character bound or physical bound. When we look at the entire result of Olympics, most of us who are handicapped, most of them who were physically handicapped, mentally handicapped, they got more medals to India than the normal people who went and actually played in the sports. These were the words told by our Prime Minister when he addresses this Para-Olympic medal winners, and he tells, if this kind of an handicappedness would have been in any one of us, we would have given up on our life. But here they stand with all this handicappedness, they go up and they win medal and make India proud. Hats off to them. A big round of applause. You ask yourself, you are gripping about so many things that's not happening, and you are not at all filled with gratitude with whatever God has given. Do you know how gifted you are? You have a loving father, you have a loving mother, you have a caring father, caring mother. Do you know there are a lot of people who are orphans? They don't have a father, they don't have a mother, or they don't have both of them, or neither of them. How do you think they will be living their life? You have a caring father, caring mother, they have put you to the best of the best college, and you have such a beautiful, healthy mind which can think. There are a lot of mentally retarded, they still do miracles. Thomas Alva Edison is one of them. He was thrown out of the school by telling he is a special child, he needs to be trained differently. Amazing mother, what a leadership quality she actually exhibits. When the letter she was about to read in front of her son, the son asked, Mama, what is that written in the letter? Why did the principal say, I cannot study in this school? Mama reads the same letter in confidence building, reverse. The college is not equipped to actually teach such specially intelligent students, so they cannot accommodate you. They've given me instructions how I can teach you, and I will start teaching you from now on. And she was taught in a kinesthetic way by actually asking him to learn by doing things. He kept on doing things, doing experiments, doing things, doing experiments, and he started learning. And by the end of his career, he had more than 1024 inventions under his cap. And what a great statement of leadership skills he gave. 9,999 times. The way a bulb has to be manufactured, if he needs to actually stay longer, he failed 9,999 times. And he was finally successful on the 10,000th attempt. But he never considered 9,999 times as failure. Why? Because he knew that above means ahead of these failures there is success. Most of us don't know which is that 10th attempt that can bring me success. And God does not create duplicates. We create duplicates. Maka, he has read 3 times and he has understood. Maka, I will also read 3 times and I will understand. Then you are a duplicate. All of us are unique. All of us are that masterpiece, that master's piece. Let me make you understand. Our nth vada is completely different. His nth vada is completely different. My nth vada, sir's nth vada is completely different. All of you repeat. My nth vada is different. And my friend's nth vada is different. Let me explain it with a story. All of you know this Udupi Hotel? One BCom student from Udupi, he comes to Bangalore and there was an interview for him to attend. He attends the interview in Infosys and he was selected. He was the most happiest person. He thought he's the most smartest because he got selected in Infosys for an account section as an account analyst junior. And he was so happy, he thinks now it is celebration time. Let me have my breakfast. It was already to 12 to 12:30. At 12:30 he goes in search of an hotel and he finds there was a small hotel, heavy rush. And in small hotels it's always the owner who sits at the cash counter and he is managing the entire show. So he goes up to the owner and he says, "Sir, do you get very tasty vadas?" He says, "Yes sir, we get the best and very tasty vadas in Bangalore." "Oh good. Sir, does your vadas satisfy our hunger?" "Sir, nim vatteshveno. My vadas will satisfy anybody's hunger, sir. You sumne kutkondu tinta iri, sir." That man goes and sits. He orders 1 plate vada pudi and the vada is given. And this Udupi man, he raises his hand and the owner looks at him. "Hey sir, 1 plate vada is to?" He says 40 rupees. "Sir, do you charge for sambar and chutney?" "No sir, sambar and chutney free. Only for the vada 40 rupees we charge." And he again makes sure, "Sir, once again I am confirming, your vada are very tasty." The owner says yes. "And your vada can satisfy my hunger?" The owner says yes. And he sits. 1 plate vada is served. He eats that vada and he is completely satisfied with the taste. He looks at the owner and says, "Sir, very tasty, but stomach is not full." What he says? Very, very tasty, stomach is not full. The owner is happy. "Hey, no plate vada kodu." And 1 more plate vada comes. He eats the vada. He makes the same gesture. Very tasty, stomach is not full. He completes 2nd vada, 3rd vada, 4th vada, 5th vada. We call it a sapt vada. This story is called a sapt vada. So, or in English we call it as nth vada. So, when 7th vada is given, the owner is very confident that ಈ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಡ ತಿನ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. That confident he was because he was happy that the bill is going higher and higher and higher, and he also wanted to test his confidence. And he was observing him. That man breaks the vada into 4. He takes the first quarter of it, dips it in sambar, dips it in chutney, he puts it here. He's chewing, it is not going down because vada is still here. Now, with great difficulty, he gulps it, drinks a little water, and he gives that tegu. And he says, "Sir, vatte tundu." And he comes to the counter. He takes 40 rupees, he gives and he's going. And immediately the owner catches him. "Sir, 7 vada, 7 ones are 7, 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21, 7 4s are 32. What is 7 4s are? Ist kodabeku, sir." "Sir, what did I say? Does your vada satisfy my hunger?" First vada did not, sir. Second vada also did not, sir. 7th vada did. I ate only 1/4 of the vada, sir, but I am still paying 40 rupees. We'll stop the story there. Which is your sapt vada? You attend 3 interviews and say, "Hey, nanage job e siglilla." So what is 3 interviews? What is 9,999 attempts? What is 3 interviews? Compare. And you want on the third interview, people should select you. As though it is your father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law who is conducting the interview. Oh, anyway, he is marrying, so job named this. No. He will only select if you actually meet that criteria. Always remember, set your magnet right. Most of you, the moment I say tomorrow is interview, your leadership skills is shaken. ಈಗ ಸರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಕ್ಸೆಂಚರ್ ಇಂದ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೌಂಡ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೌಂಡ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೌಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ HR ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೌಂಡ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ HR ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್. ಆರ್ ಯು ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್? Butterflies inside and outside. When you look at things, you look like everybody is a butterfly for you. And people are asking, why are you so bothered? Interview and then the next week, all of us are disturbed. Same thing, we were also disturbed. When they announced, when we were in our engineering, there would be a campus drive. And most of us, what do we think of an HR? We think the HR is a dragon or a Dracula who is there only to reject you. All of us have the same feeling. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರ್ತಾನೋ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸೆಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್ ರೈಟ್, ಸೆಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ರೈಟ್. Even I would have also taught the same thing if I wouldn't have got the first job as a junior HR. When I was a junior HR, I realized the pressure on you is very less, the pressure on the HR is very high, because at the end of the day, the HR is going to be actually questioned by his seniors, how many recruitment did you do today? No, what else are you doing? We need recruits, your job is to recruit. ಹೌದಾ ಹಂಗ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ರ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಒಂದ್ 5 ಜನ ಅವಲಕ್ಕಿ ಬೋಲಕ್ಕಿ ಕಾಂಚಿನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ yes and I put them onto the job. Evening I told sir I have already made a 7 selection. My friend came and told, when we were not able to select 1 or 2, how did you select 7? My ultimate goal was simply selection. I randomly selected. Idiot. Your pressure will actually double if you select a wrong guy, because your capabilities is evaluated in first process. Whom are you going to select? In the second process, the floor manager has to accept, or the recruit initial manager has to say, yes, this recruit was good. After 15 days, I get a call from there. The floor manager calls, can I speak to Mr. Malik, the new recruit? I picked up the call. Yes, sir. Whom did you select, Pa? Sir, I selected the same Java professionals. They don't know anything. Sir, I asked them the same 3 questions. What is Java, where it is used? They only know the answer for those 3 questions. And rest, they don't know. So do you know, even after your communication skill is amazingly good, sometimes you get into an interview, you may speak so polished a language and you may make the HR believe that you know everything, and even by mistake if an HR recruits you, when he is put onto the job, there is a reporting that happens there. After 1 month of his working there, during the probation period, if at all they don't find him up to the mark, they immediately give him a pink slip and say, you are not up to the mark, we did not find you satisfactory. And a call would go to the HR. And I was talking about set the magnet right. Why I was talking that? I still remember when I went to my senior HR, he used to do interviews. Whenever I used to do interview, I used to sit on the other side, and people used to walk in that one room, and then he used to call one by one, he used to recruit. Every time before calling the next person, my sir used to open all the 3 dryers and he used to do namaskar for all 3 dryers. I was very surprised, but I was afraid to ask because I was also a newly recruited person. One day after 3 days, I made my courage and I told, sir, what are those 3 things, sir? He told, come, I'll just show you. In the top dryer, he has kept Ganesha. In the middle dryer, he has kept Jesus. In the last dryer, he has kept Allah. And I asked him, why, sir? I don't know who is going to come next, whether it is Amar, whether it is Akbar, whether it is Anthony, I don't know. I am praying, oh God, let me say yes to them. Because HR's intention is not to reject you. But the HR cannot select you if you don't meet the criteria. Why? If you don't meet the criteria, the HR is having a sword hanging on him, the floor manager has to qualify that your recruit is perfect. Then I become a senior HR, otherwise they will fire me. So he told, I have Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, even if I make a mistake, Amar, Akbar, Anthony, who is going to come next, I don't know. Before actually doing the next interview, I pray for God and I ask for His blessing and say, let me say yes to this candidate, because every candidate who walks in there, his only intention is to say yes. But he cannot say yes if you don't meet the criteria. So he expects you to communicate well. So communication plays a very important role there. And all these years, whatever you have communicated, these are called as casual communications. You have never done formal communications at all. And for the first time in the interview, when you will have to formally communicate, you will not be comfortable, because anything that you have not done, when you will have to do it for the first time, it is not going to come perfect. You need to get trained for that and then learn that skill set and do it works. So let us change at least this conception as a leader. Next time when they say there is an interview, and if I am given an opportunity to go to an interview, I will say this to myself. What is that? All of you will repeat. The HR is not a dragon or a Dracula. I will do it till 1 o'clock if you don't do action. Dragon and Dracula. Okay, we'll again repeat. The HR is not a. You did not do, they did not do. With action, we will finish the class fast. Otherwise, till 4 o'clock. Okay, the HR, hold your hands like this, all of you. The HR is not a dragon or a Dracula. He is a angel. Madam Martella. We'll do it again. I have time till 4 o'clock. Okay, last time. The HR is not a dragon or a Dracula. He is a angel. Angel who is there to say yes to me. But he cannot say yes if I don't meet my certain criteria. Every HR is only given this task that he has to see to it that you have the required requirement. Only then he can say yes. Otherwise, it may not be possible. Now, we have already told about it. I have already taken example of Mother Teresa. How difficult it was for her to become that leader who was selfless. It was not so easy. To start one simple hospital or even a small clinic, it takes so much of amount. She started missionary of charity, and her hospital is still there all around the world, not only in Calcutta where she started. So a leader is the one who can think for a larger benefit, and when you think for the larger benefit, an ordinary person becomes an extraordinary person. That's all. This lady who came in an exchange program, she thinks that can I do infinite hospitals all over the world? That larger cause dream manifested her from simple teacher to Mother Teresa, and she was honored with the sainthood. So that can happen if each and every one of you acquire that leadership skills and start taking that bigger responsibility. A chaiwala will become that because he started taking bigger responsibility day in, day out. The tribal woman became what she became, and she is the current president of India, and that was only possible because she came out of comfort zone and she started taking pain on a regular basis. New responsibility is a pain. Dhoni took up that pain. He was not afraid of failure. He told failure is an event. Let me try one more time in one more way. Results will come. 9,999 attempts were failure. I don't consider I am a failure. Experiments were failure. But let me put it across in a different manner. I found out 9,999 ways if a bulb is done, manufactured, it will not have a long life. That is the spirit what you will have to carry. And there was no looking back. Dhoni wins the 2020. They thought, why don't we give him another opportunity? After 6 months, he was also declared as a one-day international captain, and there was no looking back. He was very successful there. And after 6 more months, they decided, because he's been consistently performing, let us also consider him to become so-called captain of the test match, and he becomes a test match. That is how the life is going to give you a larger platform, a larger platform, a larger platform. She started with hospitals only in Calcutta. But she was not actually sitting in the comfort zone and saying, enough, itna hospitals मैं manage कर लूँगा तो काफी है. She told, not enough. There are a lot of people dying there also. So let me expand. She expanded all over India. She expanded all over the world. There is no such country where missionaries of charity, Mother Teresa's hospitals are not there. Even in Bangalore, very proud to say, most of those missionary managed hospitals still are looking like a church or a temple. That is how they have actually brought it up. Beautiful thing. So your leadership skill is, can I dare to go beyond? That is to be there. It was not easy for him. He was tortured to the core. A leadership is the one who will be dented. He will be tested. He will be given a life and death situation, and he has to make a choice. And when the same thing happens to you, you are not putting yourself into that life and death situation. So failures are not happening to you. Why? You are living in a comfort zone. You are living a life of a mediocre. You should live a life out of conviction. I am not a mediocre. I am a man with conviction. On a daily basis, let me try something which I have never tried earlier, so that I start growing. And that was this man. He never had any intention of fighting for the freedom. No. He goes to South Africa and he wanted to have a personal life of his, and he was a selfish man who wanted to live as a lawyer there and continue with his life. One day when he accidentally gets into the compartment of a whites, because at that time whites and blacks, there was a big color discrimination, and blacks and browns were treated as slaves and whites were treated as masters, and they never allowed whites to even get very close to the masters. They were treated as slaves, as animals. Because the train was moving, he had a court to attend. He accidentally gets into a compartment, and only after he gets in, he realizes, this is not my compartment. This is supposed to be a compartment of whites. He had only choice that he had to run away, but before he could run away, the train had already picked up the speed. And he knew in another 5 minutes, one more station would come, he will get down there. So he goes in one corner and he sits to himself, not even actually bothering who all are there, because he knew if they come to know he has got up, they are going to do some nonsense and nuisance. But before he could think of that, everybody notices it. They try to chase him like a dog which has fallen into a shit. If it gets into your house, how you chase it with sticks and other things? They push him out of the moving train. A leader is the one who will be cornered to life and death situation. Yes. At that moment, he gets only two thought process. I should die. I'll commit suicide. And one more thought process. I will not only chase these Britishers out of South Africa, even out of India. He takes up a stand and he says, and my weapon will be ahimsa. What a leadership. It was not easy. He was a youngest man as a lawyer, but by the time he got freedom, he becomes old. But he did not give up on that dream. A leader is the one who doesn't give up on his dream. Most of you, if few people ridicule, you will bring down the dream. But this man, when there was the entire world who was ridiculing him, how is that you are going to chase these Britishers out of so many countries with only ahimsa? And he consistently told, it is possible, and he felt that it is going to happen, and he stick to it over the 20-25 years of a struggle. Finally, people say he is not only the father of Indian nation. Everybody calls Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi as father of their nation, because he was the one who brought that revolt, the first ahimsa way of actually getting back our land from the conquerors. And that man was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Do you have that leadership skills in you? You have. But choices you are not making right. You want a comfortable choice. You want a pleasurable choice. Painful choice you are not ready to make. If you don't make painful choices, results also will be in the same manner. So, And leadership is where we as teachers, we try to be Chanakya. I'm not saying no. But what happens? You should be that Chandragupta Maurya in your mind. We are Dronacharya. But if you are a Duryodhana, what can I do? If you are an Arjuna, I can bring out of you greatest things. If you are a Duryodhana, definitely we as teachers also will fail. It's natural. Dronacharya was not considered one of the best teachers. He told, don't consider me as one of the best teachers. I have also given rise to baddest students and I have also given rise to super students. Both happens. Look at this confidence of leadership skills. An ordinary teacher. He gets into a tussle with his friend, which is childhood friends. When he ill-treats him, when he goes and meets him after a few years when they were adults, he challenges him and he says, what are you talking about? You are just a king. I am a teacher. I will make a robe become an emperor, not a king. That is the challenge what he dares to challenge. But after challenging, was it a comfort zone for him? No. He had to pick up such a boy who had this in him, an attitude in him that he can make humongous things, and that took a lot of time, but he was not ready to give up and there was no looking back. A new dynasty was actually born. It ended the Nanda dynasty and Chandragupta dynasty came up. Yes, beautiful. So you are that leader. Only thing is you will have to look for that opportunities and you will have to do. Basic qualities of a leadership is whatever happens, a leader has to be a sociable person. He should be a socializing personality. He should not criticize, he should not condemn, he should not complain. If you have these basic qualities, I don't criticize, I don't condemn, I don't complain, you can definitely become a leader. And a leader is the one who generates importance in all the team members. That importance becomes very, very, very important. As a leader, I will not criticize anybody. As a leader, I will not condemn anybody. As a leader, I will not actually complain on anybody. If there is a success, Dhoni comes in front of the media and says, today's success is my team's success, you please talk to my team. But every time a match is lost, he comes up and he says, I take the responsibility that we lost this match. I take the responsibility we lost this World Cup. So a leader is the one who gives the credits to the team and he takes the blame game onto himself. That is one of the greatest leadership quality that you will have to acquire. Whenever we talk about basic leadership skills, whenever you can become a captain or a group leader is only when you are genuinely interested in the entire team. When you are not genuinely interested in the entire thing, you cannot become a leader. Hey, that man, he doesn't talk to me also. He looks at me down. He doesn't look at me up. He doesn't equally treat me as a friend, as a colleague. I don't want him to become a leader, naturally. So who is going to become a leader? A person who is genuinely interested in others. That interest you should have. Mother Teresa was genuinely interested for the sake of everybody. All the poor who are not being gifted with money to actually treat themselves, she's going to treat her. So that genuinely interested things can make you develop as a leader. It is only helping my small village in this forest. So let me go up for a larger village. She thought that let me help enough tribal women to become powerful. Let me help enough tribal women to become powerful. That way from a small team to a larger team to a larger team. And today she is the first citizen of the entire India. Why? She had genuinely interested in others' benefit. As a leader, you should have that. And a leader should be irrespective of whatever. Can you carry that smile? Why Dhoni is considered as one of the best captains? He had that smile. There are most of the leaders, you wouldn't have seen them actually throwing tantrums, always condemning, always complaining. No, that kind of a person cannot become a leader at all. A leader is the one who gives up all this and he is always carrying a smile. And a leader who remembers most of the people by name. If you want to be a leader, this is a skill set that you will have to develop. Can you remember maximum people by name? Then you are called as a leader. And if you can address them by using their names, it makes you actually think of most beautiful things. And definitely, a leader should not be always a blabbering personality. A leader should also be an empathetical and a good exceptional listener. You should be ready to listen to them. One of the greatest leader, when we talk about Steve Jobs, when we talk about Narayan Murthy, when we talk about Ratan Tata, they were the people who were ready to listen. Every advice was taken with such seriousness. That was the reason the company started growing. It started logarithmically growing. It started multiplying. Why? There was a genuine leader who actually was a good, exceptional listener, and Ratan Tata was genuinely interested in actually benefit of all the employees. That's the reason when he died, we had maximum IT people who actually put his photo as their profile page and exhibited condolence to him, because he was a man who was an exceptional listener, who was genuinely interested for the sake of the others. You should have that quality. And whenever you are a leader, you should talk from the other person's perspective. What has he got benefit out of it? Then only your team is going to be liking you. What is there for me when you think? That is selfishness. What is there for the team when you think? That is selflessness. If you can transfer from selfishness to selflessness, it can do enough wonders to you. This is one of the important qualities that you will have to carry if you really want to become a leader. Sometimes in an interview, don't be surprised if a person asks, what do you think should be the 10 basic principles of a leader? You should be able to put one after the other, whatever I have spoken, and then you should be able to tell. A leader is the one who makes other person feel important, and he should do it sincerely. It should not be flattening. He should sincerely say and make the other person feel, as a team, he is also important. As a junior programmer, you are also important. As a junior accountant, you are also important. The senior accountants are important, CEO is important, director is important. Company will not grow because these people cannot work. Execution has to happen from there only. From the programmers, from the junior accountants, from the little senior accountants, from so many accounts managers, because the larger scale of people are these. When you can manage them, giving them importance, then you will be considered as a leader. If you can remember few of these points, it will always be beautiful. And communication. You should have such amazing communication, because when you communicate, people should feel these emotions by the words that you choose and by the voice modulation what you use. You should be an excellent communicator, and that comes only by practice. You will have to practice and then do it. Always whenever you talk, begin with the praise and honest appreciation. Wherever, even if an HRSS is sitting, there's nothing in appreciating him. Sir, you look too dynamic with this dress code. It makes me remember my uncle if I'm sitting right in front of you. Good. It is really flattening. A praise is always important, and it should be genuine. It should not come from a shadow of negativity. It should come from a shadow of positivity. Can you look for good in every one of them? Always look for good in every one of them, then only you will be called as a leader. Can you say you're awesome? That skill set has to be developed. So begin with a praise and honest appreciation, and whenever you want to criticize or you want to say certain complaint, talk 5 good qualities about him and say, I have 2 concerns. If you want, I can put it across. When it has to be appreciation as a leader, it has to be done in public. When it has to be criticism or a complaint, call him one-to-one. Nobody else should know. Allow him also to save his face. Don't publicly criticize or condemn. This is the most deadliest thing that you can do. You will lose the man for life. If you want the man for life, and if you want the man to give his life for you, then don't criticize in public. Call him one-to-one and then do it. Talk about your own mistake first before you can talk about others' mistake. There is one beautiful Ratan Tata story which he has, one of them has written in his autobiography, where there was a man, because of his decision, the company loses around 3 crores. It was 20 years back. Somebody says Ratan Tata wants to meet you. He was afraid. He did not know what to do. But he put all his courage to face the fear, because he knows avoiding him and then running away from the company, giving a resignation letter, for lifetime he will not be able to forgive. With all the energy put together, he puts his courage and he goes and he stands in front of Ratan Tata and he apologizes. I'm very sorry. And Ratan Tata says, I don't want you to apologize. Let me share. And he says, I also lost during my initial days, around 5 lakhs, which was very important for the company then. But then my boss did not scold me. I just came here to remind you, it's okay to fail. What is not okay is to give up. So you shall not give up, do your best. These were the simple words spoken by Ratan Tata. And afterwards there was no looking back. This man becomes the most important personality who was responsible for the Tata groups to expand its origin in various verticals. And that comes by leadership skills. And ask questions. As a leader, you should be good at actually asking questions. If somebody is having a facial expression that he has not understood, you should ask questions. Most of your facial expression is saying, "Abhi bit bidi sir anta." Now I want to leave, but one more slide, and then if you have any questions, I'll try to answer. We will take up one more time, and we will try to come with some group activities. We'll try to do. Praise any and all important information. I'll be sharing this. Praise any, all, or improvement, and ask questions. So right now I stop and ask you if you have any questions. I would like to share. Otherwise, I have a video that was done for one of the college, which is completely recorded. It's a 2 hours program. I had this privilege to take this program for ISRO junior scientist. It's all about leadership skills and confidence building. I will be sharing that link with sir. All of you can go through. I will also share this PDF with you. And if you have any doubts, you can always shoot a question to your sir. And if there is anything, you can always get in touch with me also. As a last part, I wanted to tell one thing. Deccan Herald is having monthly quizzes in the newspapers regularly. Please participate in this quiz, and this college has not participated. Most of the colleges have won. We want you also to win, because there will be a write-up saying that from this particular college, this particular group has won this so-called quiz competition. It comes in the Deccan Herald. A QR code will be there, which you will have to scan and do. If you have any questions, I would love to answer. Otherwise, officially the class is winded up. If you have liked the class, can you give me a big round of applause? And you can stop it.